All right, guys, I've been getting a lot of messages from some of the personal training videos that I've done, educational videos that I've done for coaches and trainers. And I always get Instagram comments and I always get messages. And then over the last year, I've spent a lot of time working on myself. I actually say I did a pretty poor job of responding to some of your messages, some of the YouTube comments, but I want to let you guys know I appreciate your time, I appreciate your attention, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to reach out and ask some questions. So I'm going to fire back some answers to you real quick. Colin Justice on Instagram. He sent me a lot of questions, Colin. You've got a wealth of knowledge for me. I think he sends me a question every other week. So he says on December 11th last year, he said, "What's the stress in relationships like and keeping up with your daily routines when you become successful?" Well, I mean, I guess success is all relevant because I felt like a big success when I opened up the gym and it had only 2 racks and 2 barbells in here. And I didn't even have my own apartment, and I got dropped off here by my mom and my sister because I couldn't get a vehicle and I had no credit, but I still felt like a success. So I guess that depends on what success is to you. If success means that you have, $2 million in the bank and you've got a Bugatti out front and you're wearing, $300-400 shoes and you're stunting on everybody and you're waiting until you get to that point, all the people that I know that live like that and they've got all the high-end cars and they've got multiple places that they live, all they have is a significant number of problems that they need to solve on a consistent basis. So remember, it's not the things and the material possessions that are going to make you successful. It is truly that you're making progress. So you should have your stress in check and your relationship should be valued and prioritized, and you should have some daily routines that keep you, as my mentor Bedros Koulian likes to say, it keeps you feeling like a fighter jet rather than a crop duster jet. And that's how I would answer that one. My response to him is prioritize your rest and relaxation, prioritize your relationships, and plan and prioritize your days. So I guess nothing really changed. Next question comes from Star. She also was watching some YouTube videos and they're super informative and she appreciates them and all the shared knowledge. I was wondering if you have a gym software that you might recommend, because she wants to become a boxing gym owner. If you are becoming a service-based business owner, I would recommend a system like Vagaro. Vagaro is a system that's built for service-based businesses, all sorts of different options in there, check-in kiosks, session scheduling or appointment scheduling, whether you're a masseuse or whether you're a hairstylist or whatever the case may be. But I think Vagaro would be a great software system for checking in clients, doing recurring billing, and creating different memberships that people can use. Another question that I got is from Shaq. I actually remember answering this one as I was boarding a plane from Denver to Telluride, Colorado. He asked me a couple of questions. The most effective way to get paying clients that are serious. And the second question is how to sell personal training. So my answers are actually right here. You attract what you are. So if you want to attract serious clients, if you're serious, they will be. Don't tolerate crappy clients. And the next one is how to sell personal training. Promote, get attention, build traffic and leads, and close deals. Okay? Don't make it real complicated. Promote, get attention, build traffic and leads, and then close the deals. Have a large product lineup, I tell him. Make sure the large product lineup includes things that are $997 to $5,000, but also have things that are $100. That's how you're gonna sell personal training. It's not rocket science. You sell something that's free workout. You sell something that's $50, maybe it's a 2-week trial. You sell something that's $100 a month, maybe that's an open gym membership, or maybe that is you once a week someone gets to train with you, and then you sell things all the way up to $5,000 or $10,000. Why not have a $10,000 package? If 3 people a year do it, that's an extra $30,000 to your bottom line. Ryan J. Kuhn on Instagram says, I came across your profile and think you are making great moves. When would you say, based on experience, it's time to close a business endeavor and move on when pandemics hit the business and they lost 50%? That's up to you, man. My response to him said, that's entirely on you. That's entirely on you. If you could increase sales fast enough to begin rebuilding, why close when you can rebuild? Why close when you can reroute? Why close when you can reinvent? And why close when you can reallocate your funds and your investments? That would be my answer to him. Nathan Laird asked me, he's an 18-year-old trying to better himself and invest in himself. He's currently enrolled in the EMT firefighter school, but would, while I have more time, I'd like to make a business for myself. I own a truck and saw your YouTube video on how to open a gym. If you were in my position, what's the most functional equipment for me to buy to help make myself successful? It's not the equipment. It's about, can you get people in shape? You gave me a whistle, you gave me some cones, and you gave me the ability to communicate with clients. I could bring them in here. I could have them doing jumping jacks, push-ups, dips, meeting on a football field, using gallon jugs of water to do front raises. I actually have a video on here. I think it's how to make $100,000 from probably August, September of 2019. I filmed that video, and you'll actually see me out on the football field where I used to do just that. Gallon jugs of water, and I used to make, I think I was making like $9,000 a month training people on a football field. Not that I would want to do that in the future because it kind of sucked, but stepping in goose turds in the middle of your workout sucks while you're demonstrating a movement. Another question I got from a guy in his R40 Athletics. He sent me a message, and he basically asked me, his fitness is his passion, but he's 37. He says, I'm 37, but I'm 37. Am I too old to start a career in this field? Depends on how you feel, man. Depends on how, is 37 old to you? I don't know. I used to think that people that were 35 are finished. Now I'm 35, and I look at people that are 25, and they drink and they lay around and they sit and they eat Qdoba and they just basically don't do anything with their lives. And I'm 35, and I think they're finished. So I think if you're feeling good and you're rocking, I don't know why you have to put a limit on yourself. So age shouldn't matter. You should be able to get in the game whenever you want to. Next question is from NYX. And she asked a few questions, and I didn't respond to her questions right away, and I actually feel really bad about it. She said she plans on starting her own gym here in Guam. However, I know that the startup capital is going to take me a long time to build. Do you recommend just taking out a loan for expenses, since I will most likely be renting a space, but I will also have that on my list of future debts to account for? I know it sounds like too ambitious, but I really don't want to start small. I envision our opening being a grand opening, emphasis on grand, and don't want to feel like I could have done more. On top of that, how long did it take for you to build out the gym? Should I buy my equipment one by one or in bulk, since I live all the way here on the island? I'm in the process of doing a mock-up for the business plan. Hey, you're a little all over the place, baby, if I'm being 100% honest. And I love it because that's how entrepreneurs are. They think, but when they're really at their best, an entrepreneur is at its best. It's like an animal. It's like a lion's at its best when it's, roaming the Serengeti, for lunch, as opposed to when it's put in a zoo. So right now, the best thing you could do as an entrepreneur is focus. All entrepreneurs are the best when they focus. Focus on step one. Step one is knowing that you have this plan. Step one is knowing what you're going to do and then committing to it and then going to execute that thing step by step. Not thinking, not overthinking, but going to execute it. So to answer the question though, I wouldn't take on a bunch of unnecessary debt because you don't understand debt structure. You have no cash flow. So it'd be like buying an apartment building that's 100 units and has the potential to make money, but it's 100% vacant. That would be a very bad business to buy. And if you're not an experienced entrepreneur, that's not something I would do. As far as buying the equipment, I wouldn't be worried about equipment. Whoa. Damn it, Brunner. Told the guy yesterday I'm filming. I would say that you should not invest into a significant number of equipment to begin with. That's just me. I mean, you could do it, but I just wouldn't do it in the beginning. I would try and go do what I said on my last video. I'd go rent space from somebody, get proof of concept, and once I had money to invest, then I wouldn't have to worry about the leverage. I'd put some of my own skin in the game for a while. And I wouldn't start leveraging debt until I knew what I was doing, because you're gonna set yourself back because you don't have cash flow. Next question, Devin Hightower. Devin's asked me a few questions. I think he's dropped some comments online, which I think are good. How much did it cost to get started? And did you get a loan or did you save for everything? So you can see these are kind of common questions. How much did it start? I mean, I don't know, like I opened my gym in 2011, but I started my business in 2008, but I was writing business plans for it in 2007 in school while I was in college at Concordia University, and making business plans and studying other gyms and investing into books and magazines and going to big seminars with Zig Ziglar and General Colin Powell and John C. Maxwell, and listening to speakers speak. And I don't know, like the money in 2011, the actual dollars was like probably like $35,000 when I first opened. But then it's like, dude, I saved everything that I had from 2008, 9, 10, 11. I sold my PlayStation. I sold earrings. I sold anything I could. I wore Abercrombie and Fitch clothes. I didn't have a car. I didn't have a credit card. I had nothing. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't go on vacations. I didn't eat anything fancy. I was eating, loaves of bread and, meat, and I couldn't even afford, veggies or greens or anything like that. So I don't know, dude. I feel like it cost me everything. don't know if that answer works. Did you get a loan or did you save? I saved for everything. They don't loan money to people who don't have money or cash flow. And if they do loan you money and you don't have money, you don't have a track record, and you don't have cash flow, just like they do to college students, I would be very scared, because that's called predatory lending. So, you know, it's crazy now. Like when you go buy a home right now, this is a crazy thing. Put this on here. When you go buy a home right now, they want 2 years of proof of income, because in 2008, 2009, the economy crashed because of predatory lending. They were just giving loans and houses and whatever on stated income. So if JT comes in and says, hey, I make $10 million, they give you a loan based on that, when it's not true. And now they won't do that. But isn't it funny how a 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-old can go to school and they're like, oh shit, we'll riddle you with debt. Here's $100 grand worth of debt. You don't have a degree, you don't know what you're doing, you're 18, you've barely been able to drive for 2 years, and they're like, here, dude, here's 150 grand worth of debt. They'll borrow you money and then force you to repay it for the rest of your life, but they won't borrow you money to own a home. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. But in any event, I think that's one of those things that I get asked a lot, is like, how much was it to start? And I think it cost me a lot more than just the money that I put into it. It's the time and the energy and the effort. Those things cost a lot too. Just like they always say, how do you spend your time? You spend it because it's an investment, however you spend it, one way or the other. So those are some questions I get from personal trainers on a regular basis. I oftentimes get the one about cost. First thing you need to do, first investment you need to make as a personal trainer is into yourself. That is just the way it goes, is supply and demand. There are not a lot of people out there who are willing to spend the time answering questions, helping you guys out. And they probably aren't in a position to do that financially, to go sit here, to pay someone to do it, to then go back and forth on it, and they don't care enough to do it to help you guys out. But I do, and I think if you make the investment, you'll probably value it more, and then you'll execute more rather than just sending messages on YouTube or Instagram. So I hope this video helped you guys out. If you guys do have questions too, drop them in the comments. Some people will like this, some people will hate it, but either way, it comes from me in a place of just really wanting to help you guys out. And what I really want to help you do is become what I was when I first started the gym, which is an entrepreneur who can control his schedule, who can make as much money or as little money as he wants. And you can make a big impact on people's lives doing something that you love and enjoy, rather than hating every day and waking up and things sucking. And you can still lift and, like, you know, train hard and be jacked. Like last year, I was in the best shape of my life. 35 years old, best shape of my life. Not a lot of people can say that, because they have to go through this drudgery of going to work every day and day in and day out and doing something that they hate. And that is not what I want to do. I want to take the jobs. I wanted to work with the people that I like to work with, that I have fun with. It makes life a lot easier. And if they're not that person, I get to cut them out. And it's nice to be in control of your life like that. So I want that for you. If you guys like this, like it, share it, comment it. And if you have questions, drop them below so I can answer them on the next one, or send me it on Instagram. We'll catch you guys soon.